Thank you very much for the opportunity of being here. And I would like to stress the fact that we have mostly worked at the level of the Danube River Basin. And the main reason of my presence here is to find contacts from the Black Sea stakeholders. As you will see, our sturgeons need support from both categories of stakeholders, Danube and Black Sea. As it was mentioned by the chairman, we were established in 2012 in the frame of the EU strategy for the Danube region. This, as other macro-regional strategies, this strategy has a very integrative approach, aiming to bring together all the sectorial policy under one single vision. And this is one of the major advantages of such macro-regional strategies for bringing all the countries to the same table, discussing priorities and then following those priorities, which is really helpful in order to streamline funding and efforts in the same direction. The Danube strategy is implemented through 4 pillars and 11 priority areas. You can see the 4 pillars connecting the region, environmental protection, building prosperity and strengthening the region, each of the pillars having 2 or 3 priority areas to work with. And our program, Sturgeon 2020, was built in the frame of priority area 6, biodiversity, with the aim to support the implementation of one of the Danube strategy targets to ensure the revival of Danube sturgeon and other indigenous fish species by 2020. Of course, we will not be able to achieve this aim by 2020, but this was just the beginning. Because sturgeon need a lot of support, we started, some of our actions were directed toward obtaining international political support. And our program actually needs interlinkages with all the 11 priority areas, either if we speak about infrastructure development or about environmental protection or tourism development. We definitely need to take into consideration the environment. And as it was stressed by the strategy, environment has an equal weight with all the other 3 pillars. So, in the frame of the International Commission for the Protection of Danube River, we managed to obtain that the sturgeons were declared the flagship species of the Danube Basin, and some supportive measures were included in the River Basin Management Plan and in the recent declaration signed by the Ministers of Environment of the Danube countries. Besides the support of the Danube stakeholders, sturgeons badly need also the support of the Black Sea stakeholders. And why? Because they don't stay only in the Danube River, they travel during their lifetime, they travel a lot between the Black Sea and the Danube River Basin. They spend most of their lifetime in the Black Sea, but migrate upstream the Danube River for reproduction. And after reproduction, both adults and the young ones are returning to the Black Sea. What you see here, the yellow spots and the yellow lines mark the sturgeons that were tracked by satellite by our colleagues from Danube Delta National Institute in Tulcea. And these data show that the sturgeons who were released in the Danube River returned to the Black Sea, and they spread all along the Black Sea coast. Another project, which ended in 2015, has shown that young sturgeon that were restocked in the Danube River spread also in Georgia and Turkey, not only in Ukraine and Bulgaria. So actually they travel also all along the Black Sea. This is one reason why we need to work together and secure the connectivity and protection of their habitats in the Danube River Basin and in the Black Sea as well. As mentioned, political support is really crucial for sturgeon revival, and here we were lucky. Last year we managed to acquire the support of the national fishery agencies of Ukraine, of Bulgaria and Romania to extend the commercial fishery ban on sturgeon for another 5 years. You cannot speak about the recovery of a species if they are commercially fished. This way also a dialogue between fishery authorities, biodiversity and water management authorities was launched. And now there is an agreement between the Danube countries to support migration aid construction at the large dams built along the Danube, meaning first Iron Gates and second Gabčíkovo at the border between Hungary and Slovakia. What is still needed? We still need to secure measures harmonization in the implementation of some of the EU directives. For instance, there are 3 environmental directives all requiring sturgeon monitoring: Water Framework Directive, Habitat Directive, and Marine Strategy Framework Directive. What, instead of having 3 monitoring programs, to have only 1 joint transboundary monitoring programs from the Black Sea to the upper point where they can migrate. And a second point where we definitely need a lot of cooperation is the coordination between the measures taken in the Danube countries and the Black Sea countries. And the last but not the least are funding opportunities provided to EU and non-EU member states in order that they can work together in the future projects. These are some of the potential topics of research and cooperation what we would like to propose. This transnational sturgeon monitoring program in the Danube River and the Black Sea, in order to evaluate, to identify and assess the habitats, to assess the population and bycatch, to evaluate the restocking program's efficiency, because we do restocking, but we do not know how many fish return for spawning in the river and what is the survival rate of the young sturgeon released in the river. Support the establishment of sturgeon fishery farms along the Black Sea coast in order to supply more fish from aquaculture and spare the wild individuals. And again, support the fishermen community to develop alternative activities to fishery in order to reduce their engagement in illegal activities. And a last proposal would be to establish a Danube sturgeon route connecting actually Danube and Black Sea touristic areas where people could experience sturgeon, visualize sturgeon, visiting them in museums or aquariums, and also tasting sturgeon in fish farms complex. I would like very much to invite you to join us for the implementation of this program. Thank you for your attention.